All right, we're going to come back together in about a minute, and I'm going to ask each of you to summarize up one thing that you found, whether it's a claim or an argument or a rebuttal, something, with a specific example.
Let's do that one.
Can't give up yet.
I did. I cannot walk. I can't turn back.
Did you just say I cannot walk?
Yeah.
I cannot walk.
Mom said that we cannot walk in the room.
You have to claim with clean. So what's a claim?
So it was supposed to be yesterday and tomorrow. Oh, yeah.
Yesterday was tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Just do it.
Oh no.
Do it. Yesterday was tomorrow. Let's go.
What's that mean?
All right, so who wants to start?
No.
I do not want to do that.
Nobody wants to start? Because you're scared your answer is wrong?
Yeah.
Oh, get over yourselves. Joseph, you guys start. Shh.
One of the things we found was something that we would think is biased because it says we can never be satisfied as long as our children are fit to themselves with God and our dignity by signs stating the white only. We would call that bias.
How come?
Because it's kind of hard to explain because you would never call it racist and biased. The way I feel it's biased is that they're leaning to one more on the white side as they are black.
Okay.
For most of the community.
Okay. Do you see a difference in your world today between racism and bias? Do you? Is there a definitive line?
Yeah,
Justine,
it's a
state.
lot bigger thing that's easier to see.
So you think the connotation has a more serious power behind it?
Yeah.
You don't necessarily agree with that.
I'm shaking my head at her.
Oh, okay. Oh, my bad. I thought you were getting her involved here. Wow. Ladies. Hi. One thing.
Wow.
Yes. And if you're paying attention, finding the things that they're pointing out that you haven't. So if you didn't have that bias example, what should you be doing?
Writing it down.
Yeah, I would be. Steal from your classmates. Go. No. Well,
I'm looking at you.
Argument.
the whole thing is an argument. State something specific that states the argument. Can you do that? Give me something within it that says it's an argument. Why? No, the whole thing can't be. Do you want us to come back to you? We're coming back to you. Ladies.
We chose one of our arguments as this note was promised that all men, yes, black men as well as white men, would be granted the unalienable rights of life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. And I said that was a pretty good argument because he's trying to persuade us that we all have rights, but yet we don't.
Okay.
The blacks don't.
All right. Good. Good, good, good. Ladies up here.
Oh, we had one argument now.
Awesome. What is it?
It's just telling basically what the thing is about.
Awesome. What is it?
It is the third paragraph in this speech.
Awesome. What is it?
That is a lot of reading.
No, well, just read the part that you believe to be the argument part.
I do it.
Okay. So, shoot, I lost it. How can you mark it? That's not the point here. 100 years later, the Negro is still languished in the corners of the American society and finds himself in exile in his own land. And so we've come here today to dramatize this shameful condition.
Very cool.
Yep.
And accurate. Ladies back there, did you find an argument yet?
What do you know? Just did.
Awesome.
No, yes.
Yeah, it doesn't matter who says it.
Okay, the argument I found was that one day, right there in Alabama, little black boys and black girls would be able to join hands with little white boys and white girls as sisters and brothers.
It is an argument. There's also, that's a really good example of another one of the argumentative terms. I'm not going to tell you which one it is, but I would mark that in the speech itself because it does match up really good with one of those terms. Tucker and Kaisa.
We have an argument on this page 3 to 5. It says, "We cannot be satisfied as long as the Negro in Mississippi cannot vote and the Negro in New York believes he has nothing for which to vote. No, we are not satisfied, and we will not be satisfied until justice rolls down like waters and righteousness like a mighty stream."
Good. That can also be used as a different thing too, but that's a good example of part of the argument.
What would you say?
I'm not going to tell you what it is yet. We're not leaving this speech. Almost every single one of those terms that you guys need to learn, you can find examples of in this speech. Martin Luther King was a great speaker. Did he write his own speeches?
No.
It's $1 million question. President Obama, does he write his own speeches?
No.
Can't even tell his left and right shoe.
Donald Trump stood up last night in his speech, wherever he was, Texas, I think he was. What did he say that was such a big deal for him that nobody else is ever going to do in this whole campaign? Did you watch it? Huh?
No,
He didn't use something.
had to
No
shut
cards.
down Trump's
He did, similar, but it's electronic. What do you call that? Those electronic note cards? The teleprompter. Trump basically stood up and winged his speech notes without any teleprompting, which can be a disastrous thing because what do all of us do when we stand up and speak in front of people?
With no cards or something.
Now, what do we do if we don't have those things?
You get a little crazy.
We do. Sometimes we'll say things. Say it again.
He did he?
He didn't. No, not that I'm aware of. Nothing that, I would have disliked. I mean, because I just enjoy listening to him.
on the news because some ways people got affected.
Oh, yeah. Well, they're all going to be doing that. All right. So go ahead and go back to your own seats if you're not already there. We're going to talk about your big question that you guys are going to answer. You all had to come up with something you wanted to change in your world today. So very quickly, you're going to tell us what that is. And we're going to start with Allie. Allie's going to tell us what it is. Uh-oh. Allie wants to change the world. In what way does she want to change the world? Do you know what your thing is? Do you know what your thing is? Get your thing up. Be ready. All right, Allie, loud and clear.
One thing that I would change in my world would be like how much music I listen to, because I don't listen to like when I'm not in school. I literally listen to music.
So you want to make a personal change.
Yeah.
Okay, very cool. Jordan.
You just have to pick on that one, second guess it.
All right, we'll come back to you in a second. Delaney.
One thing that I would change out is change for everyone from world peace, because it would like change a lot of conflict in the world instead of 9/11 again.
Oh, so you want to make world peace. Okay.
Would you say make world peace, because then we would be able to share supplies and we could collaborate on other things that we could find new information out of our world.
Interesting. Are you running for Miss America? If you could change one thing in the world, what would it be? World peace. What movie is that from? Oh, Miss Congeniality. Joseph.
I've seen it like 3 times.
I have something picked too, but now I don't know if it's
Are we being wishy-washy in the front corner of the room? Hi, Miss Sydney. How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
I want to end world hunger.
You want to end it, not create it. End it. End world hunger. All right. November.
Put a Taco Bell in armor.
Put a Taco Bell in armor. You should partner up with Sydney, who wants to end world hunger. You just almost said send tacos to Mexico. Yes. Which might be redundant. Justine.
I want to put like a chairlift in the high school here so that injured people don't have to go up the steps.
Interesting.
Maybe if you didn't hurt yourself or getting pissed cows off, you wouldn't have this problem.
It's true.
You pissed her off.
All right.
You scared her.
Yes. Janaea.
I would probably change the fact about Swivl last year.
You want to change something that occurred in the past.
Yes.
How can that occur?
Just go back in time and change how stupid I was and get my head out of my ass and get my.
We may want to revise that a little bit because it's not something you can actually change since it occurred in the past. So we're going to want to phrase that as something going forward. Do you know what I'm saying there?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
It's like making it like a goal this year.
Correct. Yeah, I'd love it if we could go back in time, but until we get that figured out. Tucker,
I would cause world.
you would cause world hunger.
I just don't say that. I would change what can and can't be given to us at school lunches. I would make all the meals like made like they used to be, so we could eat as much as we wanted to. And the prices would be different because right now I pay more than someone in 8th grade for the same food.
Why is that? Why do we pay more for our food?
Yeah, money's not good.
I don't know the answer, but I'm going to guess that he's going to solve it.
Thank God for Tucker.
Kaisa,
Probably that there wouldn't be no dictators or too strong leaders that can screw things up.
very cool. So are you looking for democracy or are you just looking for some other kind of a governmental system other than dictatorships? What is do you have a president? Do you have a dictator? What do you have in Sweden?
We have a king.
You have a king, do you really? I didn't know you guys are still royal.
He's not doing it.
No power?
No.
Okay. So who runs it then? We have a president, and then we have a vice president, we have a secretary of state, and then we have legislature. So Congress and the House.
What's it called?
Do you have a parliament?
Yeah.
Okay, parliament. So you're very much like England.
I guess.
You guess.
How come nobody ever hears about Sweden?
Are your princes in your country cute?
Yeah.
Do you strive to marry them like everybody does about the England princes?
No one would want to marry
The prince is to die for.
To die for?
Yeah. But he recently got married, so.
Oh, well, you know, that's,
I'm gonna Google it.
I kind of want to know what they look like too. So how many are there?
One prince.
One prince?
Two princesses.
Two princesses? Very cool. All
I'm a little bit big.
right, gentlemen, we're back to you.
I'll go first.
All right.
I'm gonna stop the Keystone Pipeline because it's gonna run through the reservation. Just like the white people did with the railroads, which created the reservation, they were taking all the land away. And they wanna run the pipeline right through the reservation, taking more land away.
So when you frame this argument, are you going to frame it around taking land away, or are you going to frame it against the economic issues and or the environmental issues? You're going to have to decide that because they're all three really big arguments.
Honestly, when you asked me if I had some picked, I really didn't.
I'm aware of that, yes. So you're going to do something with the Keystone Pipeline. We're just going to need to frame it so that it's enough narrow that it's not there. Jordan.
I got one pick that I think would be a very hard topic to do something
Well,
about.
give it a shot.
Fixed religious conflict
Oh, interesting. Worldwide?
worldwide.
We may want to narrow it?
Maybe
Maybe.
just U.S.
Right. We may want to. We'll see.
Because the thing is that the reason I do worldwide is because really Islam, given what they're doing to Muslims, we're not believing what they believe.
Okay. No, I think it's definitely doable. Might be just like Joe's. I think it might be too big to start with, but we'll get it framed down. Okay? All right. So you've all got at least the start of an argument going on, right? Is that him, Prince Philip?
What?
Is that Prince Philip? Philip is his... Call him Philip? Carl, Philip? Do they call him Carl or Philip, or do they use both? Yeah, he is really kind of cute, isn't he?
He looks like a gecko. He might look better if...
Damn, I'd marry him.
Ooh, no. He's got to put that facial hair back on.
Really?
Yeah,
It looks like
he does. He looks really young without the facial hair.
That's debatable in this picture.
No.
Oh,
All right, kiddos. Now let's look to see how we're going to get this done. If my computer ever works.
This is his son.
You know where's?
He made that. The mom must be pretty hot.
Did you just say he made that? Are you referring to the king and the son? Yes. I know very little about Sweden, so I'm looking forward to finding out all about it this year. All right, kiddos. I've put in a started Lewis rubric in your Google Drive already, but this one will go in after we finish it today, all right? You can if you want to, but again, you can look at it up here on the screen too.
And that could be selfish.
You do have a copy of it in your Google Drive already, at least it started, but I've answered that now twice.
Maybe you pay attention, Tucker. Why do you know what? Okay, he won't figure it out.
I got my adapter yesterday, so we're trying it out here.
Is it just the Lewis?
Correct.
Lewis and Clark.
Yes. All right, so these are things that I have already decided that you're going to do some of. We're going to add a couple of things to it as well. So if given the power and tools, what change would you institute in your world today? That's the big question for this it's the minor question for this really big question that you guys are getting to, right? How does an argument or a protest lead to real change? So one of the things you're going to do is you're going to identify 5 social, political changes to occurred in the 21st century. My question to you is, do you want to go back even further? Do you want to include the 19th? Because it doesn't add to the 5, it just gives you another 100 years. Right, so do you want to leave it to the 20th and 21st, or do you want to add the 19th? So it doesn't feel left out. All right. All right, so I want from you a summary of those 5. And those summaries, of course, need to be cited appropriately, right? And they can be videos. Huh?
How do you edit these things?
You can't in Google Drive. You need to summarize those. Those could be videos you're watching. They can be from your textbooks. They can be from really great websites, lots of different places. I want you to summarize those changes and how it was changed. That's key. What's the change and how was it changed? All right? I then want you to write a blog. And we're going to need to title this one, right? Let's title it Argument Blog. And in that blog, I want you to talk about which of those 5 that you've researched is the most important one. And the importance of that is really up to you. It might be something, like she's going to do a Taco Bell in armor. The Civil War might not have been something that really affected her.
No.
But...
Did it affect Taco Bell?
Correct. That is a good question, right? So think about it in terms of what you determine importance to be, not what someone else determines is important in the world, okay? That blog should talk about how that change affects you still today. That's the key to this part. and the elements of how the change occurred. So all of that should go in your blog. Okay? This isn't a lot of brainstorming to set you up for this. Okay? So I'm not going to give you a really long time to do this. So I'm kind of thinking, what is today?
5 days?
Today's the 16th?
Yeah,
I'm kind of thinking the 18th,
till Friday.
Friday. All right? And I think that's going to give you, I'm certain that it's going to give you enough time.
I don't think so.
I'm certain it will. All right? Now, yes, that's okay. You'll all live. All right? Your design is going to be a storyboard, and you all know how to access storyboards except for Kaiza. And you can get them in Google Drive. I can give you them. You can go to storyboard.com. Storyboard, if you remember, is a blank set of squares. It's going to outline your argument for you. It's going to outline your argument for the change you are suggesting. So, Miss, I want a Taco Bell and Armor. She's going to storyboard out that argument. What is the argument you are going to fight for to get a Taco Bell and Armor? All right? It also needs to include an outline of text, whether it's going to be spoken or a narration that's over. Do you know what I mean by that? It's like you're watching something and somebody's speaking in the background, they're not speaking within it. All right, so another word for this would be a script, right? So what's the build going to be? $1 million question at this point, right? Tuesday, what's Tuesday's date?
The 12th.
Tuesday's date, we're not going backwards.
The 22nd.
Thank you. Okay.
Don't move.
All right, so 22nd of September. What are we building here, though? What's the actual share out? What do you want to give me to show me your argument? Dun, dun, dun. That's the argument.
Okay.
What are you going to do? So we're going to share out. You're all going to tell your class about your arguments. What do you want to give them to show that argument? Dun, 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 dun. PowerPoint? Okay. Just a presentation of some sort. Anybody else have any other suggestions? No. Speech? Okay. Could be. Right? Is that all we want to do as a presentation?
Yeah.
It could be a poster.
No, it's still be a PowerPoint.
Could be a PowerPoint. All right, so we will leave it that wide open at this point. All right, so your build here is going to be what? Taking the storyboard and taking a typing lesson. I do. All right, taking the storyboard and developing your presentation. Now let's put some caveats on this. No. Things you can't do, things you have to do. All right? Let's do this. Must have action in your presentation. I'm going to leave it that wide open. I'm going to leave it that wide open. All right? Okay. Has to be a 3-minute minimum. How's that? Your presentation. No. Your presentation has to be a 3-minute minimum. All right? Okay.
No, it's a cute one.
I'm going to add things and you're not even going to know I've added them.
I know.
I know.
Can I please
So, What are things that you would like to do? Things that you don't want to have to do? I've added 2.
The speech thing.
That's not in my control. Sydney, you don't want to have to do the presentation. Always an option, right?
Yeah.
Yes. I was going to say, talk to Janaea. She wants to do it. All right? All right. I'm going to add, because you guys are being quiet. Okay. Must include pics. Okay.
Our presentation must include the computer.
Hold that thought for just a second. Say it again, please. That's up to you guys. Ask your question louder.
Does our presentation have to include the computer?
I would say no, it doesn't.
I was gonna do a poster.
Wonderful. All right.
I didn't want to show it.
3 minutes. My fear of saying that you have to have 4 slides. Yeah, then you have to have 4 slides, right? So, must include pics. Must include textual references to at least 4 of your readings.
Oh, wait, what's that mean?
Which means that you have to, somewhere in your presentation, reflect on something that you've read in class. And I'm going to add to this list today. Fragment of the Constitution, Malala, the Constitution Preamble, and Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream speech. And you're going to have at least 2 or 3 more that you'll be able to add to. But I'm thinking 4 of those. You have to be able to make a reference within your presentation to at least 4 things that you've read.
Oh, crap.
Okay?
Let's go back and read them now.
The first one,
All
yeah.
right. Is there anything else we want to add or eliminate? You think that's enough?
I just have a question.
Sure.
On the brainstorm part.
Yep.
So when it says identify 5 social political changes, 5.
5.
I thought we had already did 5.
You have, right, now you're going to go out and research other things that have occurred and how they got changed and how they occurred in making a change in your world. Part of the reason you have to do that is because you need to frame an argument to change something in your world, correct? So you're going to have to look at how things in the past have been changed. How did we get voting for people who are 18 and older?
But that's not going to be included in our thing.
Correct. Doesn't have to. You could include it in your thing, but I don't envision that. All right, so we're going to move on then. All right. Who do you think should evaluate?
2 peers.
2 peers. Define peers for me.
Oh, can we do 1 peer?
2 that are older than not in the class.
Can you? It can't be your parents. I disagree. What?
Okay,
That's what,
guys.
I'm putting it up there. I'm putting it up there, so now talk.
Okay.
That's
I
what Tucker
think-
suggested.
I think it should be 1. Okay, if we do 2, I think we should be able to have them be in our class.
They just have to be older than you.
No, I disagree with that as well.
I was like, how's that?
They just can't be young. They just can't be
You're
like.
just aiming for Justine to do one of
No, I'm not. I'm saying it
I
just.
did November last time. I did November last time too.
See? I need them.
I did yours.
All right, so
I can't remember. It's Delaney.
we'll deal with not younger with you in a second, Janaea, because you obviously are in a different situation, right? 2 peers, not younger, and can be in class, but only 1.
Oh, can we fix that too?
Is that fixable?
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be anybody in your class, right? But if you're going to have somebody from your class, it can only be 1 person. You can't have both of them.
So pick wisely.
Pick wisely.
What do you mean by only one? Only one.
All right? And again, I want an outline of changes made and why you've made those changes. All right, so if your design is due the 22nd,
That should be the 28th.
I like her. Yeah.
You think so?
That would work.
On the 30th.
Well, first of all, look at your calendar. Make sure that you are dealing with days that are normal. Okay? So I was kind of thinking that this would be your due date.
What?
So now work backwards. And actually, I need to look to see if the 29th, is the 29th or the 30th a B day?
It'll be an A day.
29th is a Tuesday.
That doesn't help me with A or B though.
All right, next Tuesday would be an A day, then 29th would be a B day.
That's, yeah, okay, so 29th is an A
No,
day.
it's not, Jordan.
So let's make it the 30th.
Okay.
You will present on the 30th. Oops. Okay. So now go backwards.
The 30th.
Correct.
Oh,
Today's a
that
B day.
can only take like 2 days.
How about that one,
So what?
That's not going to take a long time.
Awesome.
28th.
how about that one, is the 28th?
28th?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the one above it could be the Friday before,
Which would be?
the 25th.
No, it'd have to be 24th. So that's B day.
That only gives us 2 days for that.
And the one right there would have to be the 23rd then.
Make that like the 26th.
This? The build?
The 26th is a Saturday.
No, the thingy about it. This test.
I
I feel like we should just move this farther away.
Where are you going?
Flash.
Cool. I don't think you're going all day though, are you?
No, we had back in the afternoon, but we marched with Flash on Friday and Saturday.
Okay. That's okay. It doesn't bother me though.
We can do this, guys.
It's just Saturday.
You obviously have a few date problems here.
Yeah, we do.
Can we,
You have too much faith. Where's my last year? We always try to do.
Tucker's actually thinking here.
Oh, God.
Okay, Mrs. Sun.
Yes.
Maybe we talk about Fears Day, or like,
Talk about it in what way, kiddo?
I mean like.
Oh, well, yeah, your situation we'll deal with in just a minute. You're going to be a little different than they will. I know that, but they need to get the dates. You all need to get the dates done here first.
I have an idea.
Tucker has an idea. Do you want to speak first before he speaks? All right, Tucker has an idea. You should pay attention at this point in November.
We should make September 30th to October 2nd, and 28th to the 30th, and 24th to the 28th, and then that one comes to the 25th.
Tell me your thought.
October 2nd won't work.
Why?
That's homecoming.
So,
Then you get turn it in before class.
actually, the presentation, we wouldn't be able to do that day, but it would still be somewhere.
Make it the 5th
Oh, okay. Never mind.
then. I'll be gone.
So you would be
No one
presenting then
cares.
that day, the next class period, right? So what would that be for on a B day? Just for accuracy.
That'd be
The
on
9th.
Tuesday.
And,
The 9th, we don't have school from the 2nd to the 9th?
oh, yeah, we have to.
Make it the
We're
fifth or
vacation.
sixth.
6th?
Yeah.
3, 4, 5, because we go to a Tuesday then, right? I'll give you that.
I was thinking 30th was stretching it.
30th for here?
No,
I know, chill out.
And then we can make the 28th right there. Then the one above it could be the 24th.
or the 26th.
That's Saturday, November.
It doesn't matter.
26th is a Saturday.
Yeah, it doesn't matter though, right?
Because it's just going to be handed in. It's not like
Correct.
the candy.
Correct.
It's on the computer now. I want to do that. It's going to be so sad.
Are you all happy with those days? Look at them and think about it a second.
I should be all on midnight.
Look at those and think about it.
Can we make the bill solution the 25th?
Calm down, Jordan. There you go. Say it again, please.
25th,
What's that?
the bill solution. I'm happy
But
now.
I'll be fine so that PO is just an extra day.
Are you all happy there? Yes? No? Forever hold your peace. Awesome, Blaze.
No, not good.
All right.
Oh, didn't neither of them.
Is that the blonde chick in the freshman class?
Yeah.
What's her name?
Bailey.
Bailey. Where'd she come from?
Wow.
Oh, nice.
I asked Nathan about her.
All right. I will stick that in your Google Drive right this very second.
Delaney, I found the lyrics, so now I can sing the whole song.
No.
Oh,
Go ahead.
no.
It's your YouTube moment.
I only know the first paragraph. Sing it.
Well, good, sing it.
What song are you singing?
Come on, you sing whatever you want anyway.
Well, good, not you singing it for a week straight, pretty much.
Is it annoying? Yes, it is. No.
Yes, you look so sad.
Oh, God, no.
But I absolutely know.
Mine sees,
Tonight, I'm gonna sit down and I'm just gonna listen to the song over and over and over. And then, while we hear the lyrics and singing it, and then I'll have it memorized by tomorrow.
Good, have to go up and get it.
There you go.
All right. You will notice in here that there's going to be 2 Lewis rubrics in there, right?
Yeah.
I see, oh,
Yes. Always use the newest one. The other one's in there, but I'm going to leave it just so you can see where your progress came from and those kinds of things, all right? All right, the other thing I want you to notice is you've got 6 different parts here, too, from We've Got a Job. The 1963 Birmingham Children's March. Anybody know anything about that? No. Open up the first one, please. The one that doesn't have a number on it. It is. You are in Google Drive. I've stolen this from Edgenuity. Sorry, YouTube. Okay? All right? I'm going to add this to your list of things that you need to read prior to this, all right? This first part, if I could change one thing in my world, what would I change? Is the first 2 weeks of this big one right here. This whole thing right here is probably going to take us 6 weeks by the time all is said and done. So this is the first 2-week project as it goes along, okay? So you're going to get some more things to read. I've got some freedom, kids who fought for freedom. It's actually kind of heartbreaking a little bit. All right, so the easiest way to read this is to open up the first one, which has no number on it. It opens up in a reader in Google, right? And then if you just use your arrow, it'll go to page 2. And then if you use your arrow again, it'll go to page 3. All right? Yeah, it is very cool. All right? All right, so questions so far? So, Friday. Okay? Make sure you've got that read. You have stuff you also can work on right now that's due on Friday, which is all of those documents, all 6. It's one story. Okay? I don't go to jail. It's a bad thing. I don't know. I've never been there.
Uncle Chris gets up.
Are we going to talk about that?
Yes, I'm going to be right over there in just a second. All right? So read this story about the Freedom March. And you've got brainstorming that is due on Friday. Dun, dun, dun. Miss Allie, what are you going to have for me for Friday? The brainstorming. All right. And the reading. And I'm going to send you something to do with the reading. And I'm actually going to point out a few more for you on Friday, okay? All right. Correct. Correct. All right. So here's the deal with this. Ready? The last time you guys did a 2-week project, and I'll pick on Delaney a little bit. Delaney said at a very last panicky moment, I think it was like 11:57, my classmate said this is due today. You guys have just decided the due dates for everything.
So we could have picked like February.
I was like,
No, I wouldn't have let you go that far. The juniors last year, no, it would have been like Mariah's class when they were juniors. They for their papers and stuff, their very first papers, they all got to pick their own due dates. Some of them picked all the way out to like February or March to get their final paper in. The problem with that is that you have to talk to me every day to show me what progress you're making towards it. So the only thing that they did was they wanted to put it off till February and then do it the day before it was due anyway. It was just going to be due in February. And actually, what was a 1-week project that they had to do actually turned into about a 4-month project for them. So sometimes procrastination doesn't do the deed. You guys aren't procrastinating by putting stuff, that's just silly to do. Just get it done, right? And you can do I'll be honest with you, you can get all of those things done ahead of time, right?
Oh,
You could. You can get all those brainstorming things done. You can move on to do your design. You can move on to do that other stuff, right? So you can do it on your own time frame. You know what they are. You know where the Lewis rubric is, right? All right, so we have one more big question that we need to deal with here. Point values. And you're not going to shout out point values here. And I want you to think about this. You've got 5 big point value areas. You've got the brainstorm, the design, the build, the test and evaluate, the modify, and the share. So there's 6, right?
I think we should all have a 10.
Okay. You in your head decide how and or how many points you want each of those big categories to fulfill. 2 ways you can go about, there's multiple ways you can go about doing this. So if you want this whole project to be worth 100 points, how much do you want your share out to be? How much do you want your test and evaluate to be? How much do you want your brainstorm to be? This is your input, probably not going to be the final input on this. So think about this for just a second, and then we'll get together. For the course of doing the peer evaluates, let's go juniors on up for you. So you can have juniors do it, you can have seniors do it, you can have parents do it, you can have teachers do it, doesn't matter.
Okay, so anybody who's much older
Correct.
than me, I
Correct.
can have do
Yeah,
it?
so when we talk about peers for that, we'll let you include, yeah. The same rule then would apply to you. You could only have 1 person from in here. But you could have 2 from the seniors if you wanted to.
But none of them in here are older than me.
I know, that's what I'm saying. For you, that isn't going to be in effect.
For me too,
Yes.
I guess.
Huh?
For me too.
Oh, yes, yep, for her too. Okay, and you heard that conversation? Cool. All right, do we have some ideas here? Awesome. So how many points do you think this should be worth? 75. 75?
100.
Is that what you said? 75, 100? Anybody else have a thought here?
I like whoever said 100. Who said that? I like you.
What'd you come up with 75?
12.5 for each group.
Oh, interesting. What'd you come up with 100?
What you see here.
Very long explanation. Wait, what?
They're trying to figure out total point values.
Oh,
4 of them would have 20. That'd be 80. 2 of them would have 10. That'd be 100.
So let me ask you this. What 2 would you tend to?
The outline made of the changes and the peer reviews.
All right, so, oh my goodness. I'm going to have to find stuff to clean. All right. So I'm hearing 100, and I'm hearing 75 in brainstorm, design, build, test, and evaluate, modify, and share. The 100 points, tell me what you do here.
Okay, so 20, 20, 20. Okay, and 10, 20.
And Tucker?
I think 12.5 for everyone.
Thoughts?
I'm honestly with Tucker's.
Why? Because then you could.
They're all
Some
the
things
same.
are harder though to do than the other ones, so you should get more points for those.
And I'm gonna add to yours right now. So you're probably correct. November just made the comment that some of these things are harder than other things. She has attributed the build, the design, the brainstorm, the design, and the build, and the share out to be more difficult than the test, evaluate, and the modify. Tucker and Jordan's agreeing with him that they're all kind of equal in their worlds.
Yeah, because they're guys.
I'm pretty certain it doesn't have anything to do with gender. Fairly certain of that. You what? You agree with November?
I like November's idea.
I think equal, so you put the same amount of effort in everything.
Nobody's gonna put the same amount of effort in it. You might.
All right, so think about this for a second. We'll come back to it. Are you thinking? You are thinking about stuff right this very second.
Okay, I think I'll take it.
All right, good. Collaborate with somebody else in the class. Go, talk to them. Collaborate. Talk to.
How do you get something? They collaborated.
I just am out of it.
I heard that over here.
Yeah, that's right. I had to do my math 3 times, but yeah, it's right. All right. Have you all collaborated with somebody?
Yes.
You all collaborated with your nice little comfort zone. Get up, collaborate with someone outside of your comfort zone.
Now we collaborate.
Go. Go. You just collaborated with the same people you collaborated with the last time. Are you sure?
I went up with her, and then I was with her the second time.
Yes, but those two never moved.
Where's the Swivl?
And you two never looked at each other. It's right over there.
What up, Swiv?
Hi, Joe.
I didn't say Sid.
It's funny.
Tell this Steve. Jordan, tell this Steve.
I'll fix it. I'll solve
All right, let's chat. Is there a meeting ground?
it. Yes.
What's the meeting ground?
We all agree with November. We do.
I have to love someone who loves to, yeah. The compromise is let's just do what I want. Yeah. I like that. That's, November for president at this time.
Is that Kanye? You know how Taco Bell everywhere.
We would all be doing what November wanted.
Every corner of every.
All right, so what do we think here? What do we think? Jordan, are you still stuck on? You still like 12 and a half, 12 and a half, 12 and a half? November, have you changed at all? No? Anybody else want to add to this conversation?
Let's have a vote.
I like November.
Let's get ballots and
Don't talk to the rest of the week.
Okay, so how do you? Ready? Here's a perfect opportunity for you to look at a situation and in the creation of a policy. How can this policy now become a working policy, whether it's 100 points or 75 points? How can we now make it into a working policy when there are 2 dissenting sides? And you're absolutely correct. And part of the reason I wouldn't let you vote is because with you guys in here, I have a feeling that the 3 gentlemen who are outnumbered majority-wise would lose. Simply because we're all going to do what November wants, right? So I would propose this, and you guys would have to figure out the middle. What's 175 average together here? What's the middle?
175.
No, kiddo. What's the middle between 175? Is it 82? That's where I went. I think it would be 82.5, but somebody else do my math for me. 82.5?
Yeah, 87.5.
87.5. All right, so now let's go from there. You want to do it on the middle.
No.
She's put less value here, yet Tucker's put the same value as everything else.
Maybe we should do the same with the left side. That will work.
Where would we be if we just split the difference?
We're getting it done. Let's see six.
What's the difference?
I was doing my own.
Oh, well, it's perfect.
14.5.
14.5? Really?
Yeah. It's math.
That's only 2 above 20.
It doesn't look right to me. And I'm not a math genius, so
14.5 times 6 is 87.
Is 14.5 really the middle between 12.5 and 20? Are we now changing our minds?
Well.
16.25?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was about to say it.
And you're gonna have to figure out this one.
16 times.
Just a minute. We're doing a math thing here. 11.25. Are you doing the math or are you just guessing?
It's my head.
Add it up for me, kiddo.
I go up to 87.5.
Does it do 87.5?
Bam.
It should.
All in here.
I go to
There's not much in there.
Okay.
Yeah, you knock on it
All right.
a couple times.
Then we're gonna get this right here being just a little bit last, and we've met in the middle for those kinds of things. So I think for the first time, and I know the next time you guys do this, you're gonna change your minds a little bit on some of these things. All right? Easy enough? Awesome. What's due on Friday, Joseph?
The brainstorming and the reading thing.
There you go. Okay?
So I'm just still confused
Sure.
on the grades though. So we do 5 things that are going on right now, or that have gone on.
That have gone
got
on.
solved.
Correct.
And
And be careful of that. They don't necessarily have to have been solved.
It's Wednesday.
How about, for example, we had, you have the entitlement system. You had Social Security get created. The more I name, the less you can use them. So,
Stop talking!
So then we
they asked.
Then we summarize all the changes.
Correct.
And a
You're going to
blog.
summarize what the change was. Now, the blog is separate.
What is the blog?
The blog is separate. Everybody hear that? The blog is separate. So your 5 changes are going to be all by themselves. Then you're going to write a blog.
Would be something like, could it include like a thing like
You can do anything you want to that is a political or a social change that has occurred in the 19th, the 20th, or the 21st century. 5 things. You're going to explain what it was. You're going to explain how it changed. And you are going to explain how those changes have affected you. Because that's the key. We need to know why you think those change, and you're not necessarily choosing something you agree with or don't agree with here. Right? All right, so here's the deal with this. We're almost at 4.5 weeks. I don't need to put this on YouTube, right?
Really?